crunch today. But here is Tulane's offseason quarterback carousel. It's been quite the story, huh? Darian Mensah went to Duke. How much did he get? $8 million. TJ Finley transferred from Western Kentucky to Tulane, his fifth school, only to re-enter the portal after being arrested. And Jake Retzloff now is a part of that room. He, of course, transfers in, well, not portal, but he now has committed to play as a walk-on who's going to get paid a nice chunk as the quarterback at Tulane.
Yeah, I'm curious after, we talked to Ralph Russo yesterday and how quickly he can learn the offense and become the starter there. I think he's going to be the starter eventually. Otherwise, they're paying $1 million for a guy who's going to sit the bench. But he is a very good leader of the offense. Now, is he spectacular? Is he Bryce Young? No, he's not. But he is someone who makes key throws. He's really good in the fourth quarter. He's really good when the game's on the line. He brought BYU back from the brink of death against Oklahoma State and Utah last year, especially that Utah game. They got the call. And then after that, like what Utah seems to forget is they get that call, like BYU gets that call. Well, it was in the end zone. They still had to go all the way down the field to score. He did all that after that and moved right along. So he's going to be a nice addition for Tulane, who needs more on offense. They got a very tough non-conference schedule. Northwestern, Duke, Ole Miss on that non-con schedule. They've got to play UTSA and Memphis within the conference. So that's going to be very tough for Tulane. But they should be one of the favorites this year under John Summerall if they can navigate through that non-conference pretty well, to be maybe a team that could make the playoff at the end of the year.
Yeah, possibly. But as you said, they run the risk of maybe taking a couple losses early, and I don't think you recover from that. And as to what we were talking about a bit earlier, I mean, you think that perception's bad for other autonomy leagues. It's far worse for
They have to go. They have to beat like a Northwestern, and they have to show up well against Ole Miss and Duke. Or if they have more than. They're not more than 2 losses. They have to essentially be 10-2.
Yeah, like
conference champions.
Yeah, I mean they got to maybe lose 2 games. I think you almost have to beat one of Duke or Ole Miss to be in there potentially. But we'll see how the rest of the similar teams play out. But I mean, we talked about this a great deal yesterday. Good for Retzloff, and you're saying he's making $1 million. Is that what the report was?
When I got that tip, remember I shared it with you guys over the weekend from somebody that was dead on that he was going to take Tulane. Who was it, the other school that got involved in that? I think it might have been Notre Dame. I'm not sure. I don't want to misreport that, but he sent me the direct message that the word on the street, and this is from somebody that does a great job at what he does. He said that he's going to walk on because of the fact he couldn't really enter the portal and that he's going to get $1 million or in that neighborhood at Tulane.
Yeah, I mean, the walk-on thing is part of what he had to do because of the situation.
That's what I said, because of the transfer portal.
$1 million is what's interesting and kind of new news there, and I think that's, I guess, just a going rate, I suppose, for a quarterback. And if you were in a little bit of a bidding war, perhaps with Notre Dame or whoever might else been throwing cash out there in need of a quarterback, then I guess that's what you have to pony up. But what a whirlwind few months and few weeks for Jake Retzloff. I mean, to go from being the starting quarterback preparing for this big season and perhaps, one of the best BYU teams in years. And I know that their spirits haven't been dampened all that much by his departure, but you go from being the kind of main figure in all of that to then rape allegations to now you're on a new team making $1 million as a walk-on. It's just, that's I guess that's college sports for you nowadays, I suppose. I don't know. It's a very unique trip he's been on. And, if he's a guy that is upstanding and he just had sex with a girl and that's all there was to it, then best of luck to him. If not, then I believe karma catches up to you eventually. But for right now, he's got a big opportunity at Tulane and some big money to go with it.
Yeah.
I want to get